All right, fellas, we recording. So put your good shoes on. Hey, JC, hey, you ain't been in the locker room before, but we about to make this the locker room like we was in, dog. So
I've been in the locker room before, not this.
All right, fellas. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, tell them, dudes. Tell them we gonna keep it real. All right.
100.
Hey, what's up, Facebook? Hey, what's up, YouTube? Hey, it's your boy Billy Ratliff here in the house with the Volunteer Roadshow. Hey, and of course, I got my main man Fred, aka Deuce White, but also, hey, got somebody new here. You guys gonna be hearing him for a while. I call him, it's Jeff Coleman. JC, the great debater. You guys gonna love what we got going on today. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, baby? What's up? Hey, listen, you said that right. The great debater. I ain't gonna call him his real name, but I'm gonna leave him alone right now. Today that is Jeffrey Coleman.
Right. Jeffrey Coleman. Exactly right. Thank you, Frederick.
Oh man. Hey, I'm gonna get right into it, man. JC, since you're on the show for the first time with it, man, we're gonna let you do it first today, man. I know you've been watching the squad and checking them out and everything. I know what's going on. I mean, it's so much to even explain or whatever, but we're gonna let you simplify it in JC's terms, man. What's going on, man? What you think about everything that's going on the hill over there right now, man?
Since you said it's simplified, it's effort and execution, man, and it's
chop it up, man. Chop it up.
Recruiting, we played two teams that we're way more. It's about effort and execution. When I watch, I don't see the energy there. I don't see it between plays. I don't see it. You watch that front seven. You watch the line of scrimmage. I don't see the energy there. I don't see us moving the ball, moving the line of scrimmage on short yardage situations. I don't see, that type of. There's just an energy that you see about a team. Any good team that you watch in college football, you can tell those intangibles, those common themes across the board, and I just don't see it right now. And then again, it's nothing about talent. It's not recruiting. I don't want to hear that shit no more. It's like, again, if we can't go out there and run 6 or 7 slant and just run vanilla defense against Georgia State, and not so much BYU, but if you just can't go out there and beat your man and show some energy and effort and execution, then that's a problem.
Of course, you said it perfect, man. And me and Deuce been talking about that, the past few weeks and the past few shows, and it's amazing that
that's the common thing.
Another one of my dogs said the same exact thing, man.
I haven't watched your other show, so I mean that's not me.
And that's and see, and I'm glad it's that way because, you keep repeating yourself. Eventually, I'm quite sure somebody gonna hear right and understand what we've been trying to say, what it takes to win ball games, man.
And that's so true because it's like we have the same common thread, right? We all came from a program that won. We understand what winning is like. We understood what it took to win, and those same rules still apply. I tell people all the time, I don't care how fancy you make your offense look, the game is still the game.
Still the same.
It's still the same, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You can only run so many routes. You can line up in so many different formations. You can only run with so many routes. You can only block so many different ways, and those things do not change. The one thing that you always can you said it's a common thing. If you cannot change the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, it's going to be hard for you to win some games. Hard.
There's a reason why in spring ball and in camp that you don't try to scheme anybody. That's why Chief, we're not trying to scheme. We're trying to see who's going to play ball. We're trying to see who's going to beat their man, who can tackle, who can get the ball.
Exactly.
It's not about out scheming anybody, and that's the basic part of football. And you saw against BYU, we had, and it's been that way for a couple of years, we had these short yardage situations. BYU, they had a 3rd and 1. I remember they picked up 3 easy yards. They ran a little off-tackle play. Easy. we had so many short yardage situations, and then at the snap of the ball, that big boy, those tackles and those ends were in the backfield. Nobody moving the line of scrimmage. And, I know we're young up there, and they did some good things with pass blocking, but you got to be able to run the ball, and you got to be able to get short yardage situations.
Absolutely. It's a mono sport. Like you just said, what was our base defense? Just both of y'all. What was our base defense?
43.
Huh?
I mean, we ran a 4-3. We ran
No. What was our base call on defense?
You talking about the Eagle? You talking about Eagle?
I mean, we were so multiple, dudes. I mean, so
87.
G87 was always. That's always is.
You're a defensive back, man.
You different. You know what I'm saying? We had the stuff we had to do up there. It was way more technical than what y'all had to do.
That's what I'm saying. Anytime we ran 87, we ran G87.
Yep, G87.
G87 is our base defense. And you know what that says, Jeff? What you just said. I'm saying the same thing you're saying, basically. That's what we call all the time, simply because that's a mano-a-mano. Can you beat your man? Can your man beat you?
Yeah.
This is how we're going to figure this out.
Right.
And G87, if Coach wanted us to be tough and see what we had, he called G87. Yeah. That means we're going to line up and we're going to kick your ass.
Every time.
The ball, when you see 6 or 7 slant back to back, when we just go 6 slant, 7 slant, and just run that same thing down the field like Arkansas, that's when you know we beating you and you can't do nothing about it.
It ain't nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. And but that goes to show, like, that's the mano-a-mano thing that we don't really have right now. Who's winning their one-on-one battles? We need to get back to that part.
Consistently winning.
Yes, that's where it all starts.
Figure out who's winning one-on-one battles, and those are the guys you got to put on the court, on the field. And I'm not saying that the coaching staff don't know who's winning one-on-one battles. What I'm saying is, whoever is, them the dudes that got to play.
You need to be in the game, man. So, it's the old school saying, man. The game is always won and lost in practice. So I want to know what the heck are they doing in practice, in a sense. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on especially with all this rotating stuff, man. I did see they did clean it up a little bit this past weekend, but my problem was, because I hate to jump to this game, but I want to go ahead and jump to it right now because we down, we up, 16-3 halftime. We come back at halftime for the second half, and it's almost as if like we didn't make no adjustments as far as what we were doing. And it almost made me feel as if they already knew that, by them being up and everything, that this game is over. We can coach this and get by and win this game or whatever. But they got to understand, BYU are making adjustments to you guys too. So you got to, even though you're winning, you got to make adjustments too based on what you did wrong out there. Whether it's asking the D-line, what the heck happened when they got them 7-8 yards or the long yards? I mean, are they blocking like they saw us in practice and stuff? They got to be communicating, and it almost to me is like they're not doing that, man. I mean,
I'm gonna say something about that because I'm gonna get back to that effort and execution thing, and that's kind of on the scheme tip again, which you still got to do that. You got to make adjustments at halftime. That kind of reminds me of, it's a different coaching staff, same story. Oklahoma game, we came out strong. We didn't make one adjustment in the second half, and this was kind of the same thing. But if you look at, there is a couple of plays. If we execute, and I'm not calling out any of these guys, by name, because a lot of them are young. And there were some people that flashed. The Bumpus kid, Crouch, the linebacker number 11. It's some kids that's jumping off the screen.
Yeah.
There were a couple plays. If he makes that interception right before that long pass, the game's over. And it's a tough play, but you're in position. You got to make that play. There's a couple of plays to where if you execute and if you maybe we didn't have the right, the scheme was still, they were catching up to us, but you can outperform scheme. And we were 2-3 plays away from just either running off with that game or ending that comeback. And we just didn't make it happen. We're not even talking about this. If we make a couple of those plays, that long pass doesn't even happen. So
that's true. You're right.
It's called not being a robot and being a football player.
Right.
Do what you're supposed to do, know what you're supposed to do and do it, but also go make a play.
go make a play,
Well,
man.
I give you a perfect example of that. I mean, we played Florida. Had a sack that game. They ran, and if you look, they ran a screen on that play. I was not supposed to rush that play. I should have stopped and peeled back. But at the time, it's like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and go because I feel like I can get here. The right thing to do is to peel back, but that's not what I did. And you just go ahead and make the play. Sometimes you have to do what's right.
Play. Yeah.
And
exactly.
And I'll tell you, and I teach kids when I train them or whatever, that same analogy that y'all talking about, man. Like, when I'm coaching kids or whatever, I always tell the kid, I don't care what level you're on, what sport you playing, whatsoever. That robot factor that you think they want you to be, we don't want that. I want you to do what I told you to do, what I told you to go left or right. As long as you do your job, you're going to grade good. But making a play on your own when you react to do something makes a whole totally different ball game when it comes to a player. Don't think because I told you to go right, you continue right. Do something after that. Make a play after that. Look for the ball.
100% and not make one tackle.
Exactly.
You can grade out right and not make one play.
Exactly. There's times where, I can tell you this. I remember there's times where, I didn't do what Coach said sometimes because, I knew that if I did that, it wasn't going to work. Whether we doing, goal line and they backed up in the end zone, I know this guy's going to wedge down on me and the quarterback going to try to do the quarterback sneak. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to jump over the pile too.
Mm-hmm. The one thing also that you said, Jeff, earlier, I'm piggybacking off of this, talking about how we made adjustments at second half. Well, and Billy, you said this about the things that you did wrong. We made adjustments even on things we did right.
Right.
Hey, Coach, I know we saw this play. This is what they did. Can we do this instead?
Yeah.
We might get a pick on this, or they'll never see us coming. Whatever. Our coaching staff will look at us and say, they look at on the board with us, and we'll tell them what we saw. Can we do this instead of this? They be like, you know what? I think that might work. Go ahead and try it. Now, if we do it and it doesn't work, we go back to doing it the way we were before.
Exactly.
And they'll tell us that on the sideline. But we had the option to try it. Prime example, we played against, we were told not to do this, but we did it anyway. We played against Auburn, the last game you played, Big One. And Deion had the 3 interceptions. That first one was for a touchdown. We've been watching film all season, all summer for this, all week for this. That one play, they do like a little bubble, and they would throw the screen back to that side. As soon as the guy goes in motion, usually when he goes in motion, if he goes all the way across, it's an out route. So I keep going with that. This one was a bubble, and we knew they were going to throw the screen to him. And to be honest with you, they thought we were in zone. We switched off, me and Deion, and they did not want us to switch off. But we knew where they were going with the ball. So we saw it in the game and made an in-game adjustment, just being football players. Like, hey, you see this? Go ahead, I got you. He picks it off and walks in the end zone. Those are called adjustments. You see, you adjust. That's being football players. That's knowing the game. It's just being in the right place at the right time and knowing where you're supposed to be. Knowing your assignment, controlling your assignment, and not only knowing your own assignment, knowing the one of your teammates as well. That's what makes you better. You know what I mean? And I don't see any of that. What I did see, and you said this earlier, Jeff, I did see some guys show some fight.
There's some guys out there that can.
Yeah. I think Taylor showed up a little bit better this week.
He did.
Theo Jackson had 9 tackles. Let me tell you something. Theo Jackson had 9 tackles. And we had a nickelback, Schamberger, had 8. Anytime your safety and your nickelback had that many tackles in a game, something's not right up front. That means it ain't getting done up there, bro. And I hate to say it like that, but I'm being honest. And listen, in this style of defense, think about this. They play the same defense, very similar to this defense at Alabama, very similar to this defense at Georgia.
Right.
Name a time they say these minutes lead tackles on their team.
Nah.
Name one.
Right.
I'm gonna
Their
tell you.
safeties have not been the leading tacklers on their team because they're getting it done up front. Now, I understand the system, and the system needs for these guys to be playmakers up front. We're doing a lot of catching up front right now. I just want to see them boys make something happen up front. It ain't like they don't have the talent to do it or the capability of doing it. You just got to do it.
You gave that Auburn example, and I'm like, one of the best examples of just what we were talking about was 98 Auburn, the goal line stand. And I give Bowden credit. He ran the same play 3 times. He changed it a little bit on the 4th play, but that was just line up who gonna win this fight right here, my offensive line or your defensive line. And he ran the same play 3 times, and they went backwards. And it was just about we gonna see who's gonna win this fight. And I respect him for not running some little bootleg because they would have walked in possibly. But he's just like, we're gonna run this play and see what's gonna happen. And we hit him in the mouth 4 times in a row, winning that line of scrimmage. And there's nothing fancy about that.
And that's what makes a great defensive line, though, man. You know, and I tell you this here with, you know, when I played, the guys that I played with, you know, I have to say we might be been a little bit selfish when it came to wanting to make plays because we wanted to get out there and make tackle for losses. And, you know, hey, I want to give me a hostile hit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We're trying to make plays too. So we didn't want our linebackers to have 100 tackles. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to make plays too. You know, it wasn't.
Coach Brooks would say that. Coach Brooks would say, "We're not out here to take up blocks."
Exactly, and that's you know he preached that all the time.
You know, do your assignment, but we're not out here to suck up blocks. This is Percy Snow. You know, who's the linebacker in Michigan State that had 200 tackles because his line was just taking up blocks. We weren't out there to do that. We're hitting the gap. We're moving. But you're not just out taking up blocks.
You know, I know Coach Brooks said that because I talked to Sean Ellis this morning. Talked to him this morning, and he said the same exact thing. He said, Coach Brooks told us, you're not out here to take up blocks.
You know, blocking.
We trying to set the thing up for Alex, Debo, and Ray not to get tackles. We trying to get tackles too. And that right there is the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Not a blocking dummy. That's it.
To be honest with you, I know Dre. I know Al say this all the time. Hey, man, go eat. Hey, man, I need you. Go make a play. If you're going to go. You know what I'm saying? I'll play off of you. Just go. And that right there is a sign of a hell of a team that communicates. That's something that I do not see a lot of as well, by the way.
Communicate, man. Communication. On
the field, from linebackers to defensive linemen, from linebackers to secondary. I didn't see a lot of communication.
I see number 11 talking a little bit. He's trying, but he's still young. He don't know exactly, but he's going. I can see something. I see something in him.
I do.
He's smart. He got some pop to him. To when he learns exactly what he's doing, when he can tell everybody else what to do, that's gonna be the guy right there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'd like to see? You know what I'd like to see right now? And Big One, we talked about this the other day.
What's that?
We've been playing. I don't know if you noticed this, Jeff. Last year we played 3-4 defense mainly.
Yeah.
We've been lined up in a lot of 4 this year. Now I know when you in 3-4 that outside rush in comes up as the 4th guy.
Like Taylor.
But to be honest with you, bro, and I'm not trying to talk bad about our team or nothing like that. I'm just being 100. You got 4 or 5 young linebackers. Put your best 3 linemen and put your 4 linebackers on the field together.
Well, yeah, because that's what if you run multiple sets, that's why you do it, because that allows you to adapt to whatever your best talent is at the time. That's what you gear your defense towards. Yeah, you're gonna come up in a 4-3 set at time, but I agree with you with that 3-4. I see more of the talent at that second level.
Exactly.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Think about it. You got Jeremy, and I'm. Jeremy Banks, I'm not going to talk bad about him playing linebacker because he's young and he ain't really played no linebacker before. But he effort. He made some buzz in the first game. Did okay in this one, but I see it. I see the aggressiveness he has, right? He got some go-getter in him. Man, you got Toyota, you got Banks, you got Crouch, you got the kid out of South Georgia, Harrison, you got Ignat. You got and And our other guy, he's hurt right now. Batuli, man, listen, there's some dogs. Go get them. Go let them eat.
Yeah, they most definitely missing Batuli.
If you got to run that old West Virginia defense, that 2-down lineman and 5 linebackers,
man,
make it happen, man. See, and
don't let them, bro.
See, and that's what the problem we're having, though, man.
I'd be okay with them boys blitzing, dropping in coverage, whatever. I feel like that's them your players, bro. Mm-hmm. And we ain't got them on the field. They're your players right now. On defense.
I was talking about earlier, the one that Crouch had to enter. Did you see how deep he was, how he got to the sideline? His drop just to get there?
Yes.
Yeah.
For a freshman, just to be in position to make that.
Yes.
Because I looked up, I'm like, I thought I was like, was he back there and made that play? So you got some stuff that you could play with. And if that's where all your ball players at, man,
listen, I understand you want to – this is what we want to be, but at this moment, bro, this is what we are.
That's what we are.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, at this moment, them the flashes in the pan that I see with the talent. And they all linebackers. Hey, bro, find a way to get them on the field together. Let them boys go out there and play ball.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a coaching situation there, man. You know, we got to get the best kids on the field. You know, that's that thing where, you know, each one of us have been in that meeting with Coach and don't told us this same thing.
Yeah, we don't
do a different position or whatever. You know, he gonna tell us we got to get our best 11 on the field. And
absolutely,
and that's just something that I'm looking at and seeing all the rotation that they're doing. They don't have what's called a first team or second team or anything because they're to me the way I feel like they don't promise the kids something.
Well, you know what, Word, when you know what, I saw something before the season started, and this was a problem for me, and I think you just hit on the reason why. When you're the week of a game and you put out a depth chart that says or, and you have 10 of those, 12 of those, somebody starts, somebody is second team.
I said that last week, Jeff.
Somebody or. No.
Now,
I think you hit it because, you know, just with the way people are built now and the stuff is a little bit different, you have to, I don't say you have to, but they feel the need to not put a kid in a second team. You don't want to do transfer portal is on fire every week. You don't want somebody dropping in the transfer portal just because they were second team, they're freshmen, but you don't want to go home and say you're not starting. So,
hey, so here I'm gonna tell you something that all y'all taught me. The older kid, this is what you always told me. Hey, man, you ain't got enough hours yet. You know, ain't no way. I don't care who you is, you know, and I tell you that. I'm telling you, it's go ahead, JC.
We had that same conversation. Me and Riggs talked today, and he said that same thing. You don't have enough hours to do anything.
That's what they all told me, and
exactly.
And I remember that too.
If it was good enough for Jamal Lewis, who was a freshman running back phenom, for us to tell him he ain't got enough hours, it ain't a dude on that football team right now. I mean, we can tell seniors on the squad that same thing compared to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You don't have enough hours, bro. Listen, you go out here, you bust your butt, you keep your mouth shut, man.
Go to work.
That's it.
And they told him he ain't have enough hours.
You got enough hours.
Enough hours. Everybody got that same talk. You earned your stripes.
Absolutely.
You put your hours in, and that's what it is. And that, on that other thing that me and Riggs were talking about, it's along those same lines. But you have to have somebody there that's going to tell them that. And you had to have somebody there that was before them that told them that. There's, again, that pipeline is a break in that chain. Some of these upperclassmen don't have enough confidence. They don't feel like they're accomplished enough to do it. But you still can be a leader even though you haven't gone out there and put up you got made all SEC. That doesn't make you a leader. You know, kids like Jennings and other kids, they need more of those. But you also need some cats who are off the team, that graduated, that come back, that are local, or whatever, that still instills that discipline. We all had that.
We had that.
People bring you to the side and talk. We all saw that over the years. And I said this 5 years ago. We lost that somewhere along the way, around about 9, 10, 11, somewhere. That chain started to break. and it's been broken ever since then. You know, trying to get it back, but it's hard. You have to do that. And I know people don't want to hear it because it's like it's old heads talking or whatever, but that means something. It meant something to the people that were there, and it got us all through. And that's what successful programs do. And you have to find a way to get that back.
You know, and Jason, you know, I was getting ready to ask. That was part of my agenda. One question I was going to ask you, man. You answered it. You hit it hard right there when you said it. When the older guys come back and they're still interacting as if they're still playing together. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, you know what? Hey, guess what? I got a party at my house.
Yeah.
Come on out. Hang out with us. It don't matter. You know, you cool. Come on.
And it has to be.
So many things.
But you know what happened when you were a freshman and Quincy Prigmore came around? You showed Quincy Prigmore respect. Mm-hmm. And not because Quincy went to the league or whatever else. It's because Quincy went through the same thing you did. And he was a volunteer. And he knew when you don't last that long and you don't stay on the team that long if you don't do something right. And it's that kind of – you have to be receptive as a player and like, oh, man, here go this, you know, this old head, this old washed up dude. There's no former volunteers. There's just people who aren't active at the time. We all volunteers, and we will always be that. You can't look at that like, oh, this old head coming to me and talk. So people have to put out the effort, but they have to be receptive.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. That's, you know, I ran into a couple of guys after the game.
Yeah.
They were respectful. They were upset. No, it was. I'm not going. I don't want to say who I ran into, but I needed to run into that guy because I wanted to applaud him. You know what I'm saying? And the respect he showed, man, and just, you know, they say he's not gonna stop working. He gonna always do that. He gonna always do what he do on the field. You know what I'm saying?
I know you.
That's one to let him know, bro, how we respect him. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of respect for that cat.
Because one of the biggest things you can show respect is that cat could have played with us. And that's, again, people can say that's arrogant.
There you go.
People can call that arrogant. But when you say
he has our mentality,
that means something.
He has our mentality. He does. And that right there, man, like just having that small conversation with him Saturday night, I was like, I'm okay with him. I'm okay with what he got going on. And I feel like whatever he did last week, when he said he was going to be the leader, he found a few other dogs now.
Yeah.
On the offensive side, he found a few other dogs.
And let me ask you, because that's something, and when I say that, I want to clarify for people who listen. Just because we say somebody could have played with us, that doesn't mean that you're crazy talented. It's how you play and what you bring to the table. And it might be practice, whatever the case may be, it's how you play and what
your attitude, your work ethic.
That's what I mean. It don't mean that you were, again, all SEC or whatever else, because we had, my team wasn't. It's the way you go about doing your business.
Because it was some guys that played with us that were talented.
Yeah.
But
they were shortcoming in some other things.
Right. Yeah. And we all know that. It's like that wasn't playing the Tennessee game.
Yeah. I said this to Big Worm last week. I said, we can be the best friends off the field, in the locker room, everything. But one thing I'm not going to do is advocate for you to play. If you ain't getting the job done, you ain't putting in the work.
Absolutely. Because I'm gonna tell you, funny you say
ain't
that.
Nobody going to bat for you on that.
Because Al told me that this was because I think freshman year played a lot. Sophomore year started 6-7 games. I came back my junior year and I dipped a little bit and that was on me. You know how you try to blame the coaches want whatever, yada yada yada. I'm trying to put it on everybody but me. Dre told me, he's like, look, he's like, you got to work hard. Like you got to put more into it than what you putting into it right now. That's on you. And anybody could have said it, but when somebody close to you like that, I know he wasn't trying to say it to put me down. He's being honest, and I had to go look in the mirror at that thing and get myself together. It was me that needing to do better.
Oh yeah, tell me this then, fellas. I mean, so they're 0-2 right now. That's tough, for everybody, the state of Tennessee, the team, coaches, everybody is upset or whatever. you know, what you think? I mean, this week, you know, they got UTC. Of course, you know, it's not a big team or whatever, and you know, there's a small school or whatever. What they got to do this weekend, man?
You gotta, and that's all you got to think about is UTC. And I thought about this. Somebody asked me after the first game. I remember we went 45-5 my 4 years there. And one of those was a bowl game. So I remember the 4 regular season games we lost. How you have to come back to practice after you lose. Nobody likes to do it. Nobody wants to watch film of your mistakes and what caused you losing. But that's what you have to watch. And those were some of the best 4 weeks of practice that I had out of those 50 games that we were there.
Yeah.
I lost a game.
Yeah.
Because it makes you, because you start feeling yourself or whatever, you good. Because it was the first part of the season. You fresh, this is a new season, get smacked in the face. You're like, all right, you got to go back to the drawing board. And it's not over with. You still have 10 games left to pull it together. I don't care if you lost to a high school, that's one game. So you on UTC, get that right, and you start building them from there. And that's where they got to come in and do that effort. They got to execute, get that win, get ready for the next game, come out that same week and do it. And they can't look at, we got 9-10, we got the league coming up. They got to look at this week right here and look at them things a game at a time.
And to be honest with you, if I was on this team right now, I'll be at practice with a chip on my shoulder. Yeah. I mean, when I say I want everybody to get in the game after playing, when we play against UTC, I want the game to be over with before halftime. I'm trying to be out. If I'm a starter, I want to be out the game by middle third quarter. I shouldn't be playing. Right. And that's the motivation is, let's go out here and let's smack, because these boys should not be on the football field with us. It's a disgrace for you to be on the field with me, bro. You ain't even getting recruited by the same team.
I'm going to disagree with you on that. Right. I'm going to disagree with that for a little bit, because of what's on our helmet and on the jersey are you saying that these dudes hadn't done anything to say.
I get that. So, hold on. Let me say this. They haven't done anything.
Right.
But sometimes you got to know who you are. Sometimes you got to tell yourself, these boys didn't get recruited by the same schools I was getting recruited by. There's no way they should be playing with us. The same for Georgia State. Hell, the same for BYU. But literally, bro, they need to be having a chip on their shoulder to show and prove that they should smash this squad, and this team should be on the field with them. If you want to get people coming back in your good graces, you go out here and you win by 50-some points. Even 40-some. Shit, 30-some, you might get a little bit more respect.
Everybody on that depth chart should be – it's like it's open season. Like, I need to go out there and play. Like, I need to show and prove. Nobody's job should be safe.
Right? Nobody –
man. People want to run off and leave. And
every job is up for grabs.
Be open.
Well, here, I'm going to tell you what I say. I'm going to tell you what I used to hate, which I never really lost that many games. So it's hard for me to, talk about what I would have done if I was 0-2. So here, the part about coming to practice on Monday after a loss. Coach Brooks, he's not going to scream at you. He's not going to be mean at you. But he's going to do something that I hate doing when it comes to practice. Basic stuff.
Yeah.
And what I mean by basic stuff, I'm talking about getting down in the stands, shooting your hands on a medicine ball, getting up under the chutes and keeping your pad levers low.
Go back to the basics.
Because I didn't like that stuff because it worked. I knew how to do it, but it hurt. But it brought you back down to earth, though, man.
Listen, we're going to wipe this slate clean.
So
we're going to start all the way from the beginning.
So the way my coach punished us, man, I know it's like a reverse psychology type of situation with Brooks, because Brooks was so old school with everything. And it worked. I mean, just because, if you think about all the kids that he don't put to the next level, or, we still talk to each other all the time. I talk to coach because he ain't going to let me forget my birthday. He can always call me on my birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all the holidays.
You're going to hear from him.
Every time. And coach
he didn't even coach me, and I get that.
You know, and I don't know if the coaches are doing that stuff, but that's the thing that they got to get back to is the basics. This week, getting ready for UTC. You know, like you all said, there's nobody's job should be safe. You know, everybody keep asking me, should Garantano should be still playing as the starting quarterback? Well, did the backup quarterback beat him out in practice? Did they do what they try to do to help that? I mean, I don't care who it is. I mean, even when we play him, there was quarterbacks trying to get paid job, even though they wasn't going to get it. They were still out there playing their tails off.
Yeah. I'm going to say this.
Ain't going to change.
He deserved more than 2 games because you can't sit here and say that he lost 2 games. Like, could he have played better? Yes. But is he the overwhelming reason we lost 2 games? He wasn't playing B from our last.
He's not the overwhelming reason.
No. So he deserves, from what he's done, I think he deserves a little bit more time. But at some point, you do have to. And the only reason, like you said, we're in practice, but you got to see what somebody else can do in a game with that quarterback.
Yes, you're right.
Let me say this.
Getting to that point.
Of course, I'm a diehard UT fan, but I'm also a Falcons fan. And let me tell you something. I watched both my quarterbacks do something that you never want your quarterbacks to do. Throw the ball in triple coverage to a receiver.
Oh, man.
Because you know what that means? If it's 3 guys around that guy, obviously you didn't look off and find anybody else. Now, sometimes you don't have time. I get it. Sometimes you don't have time. But don't force the ball in there when there's 3 people around someone.
2 things.
Don't force it.
2 things on that point. And I would say one is a quick point. I saw some of those young kids, the linemen, the pass blocking always comes with strength, but they're pretty decent pass blockers to be that young. But how, and this for Worm and you too, how does that, what you just said, how do you throw into triple coverage when you have how many people we play have that coach quarterbacks on our staff? You have a coordinator, you have the receiver coach play quarterback, you have the running back coach play quarterback, and you have all those offensive minds that they've been working with. How does that still happen? How does that happen?
Oh, I'm going to tell you from me, the way I see it, I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not going to I don't care who hears me saying what I'm about to say. The way I see it, it almost looks as if they're high school players. And what I mean by that, the playbook is on a high school level in a sense. When I see them, they talking about this kid is staring down this receiver. The way I'm looking at it, I don't see no progressions where he looking to the left to look off this receiver and scan the whole field until he finds that right player wide open.
You know what happened?
You know what I'm about to say.
Let's start in high school.
Exactly.
All these check with me, they don't read anything. They can't hardly audible.
They look to the sideline.
Look to the side. Tell me where to throw the ball. Who
and then they come back and they know it's going to be thrown to X, Y, or Z based on what he just told you, what he think he see right there. So when I see him staring down the receiver like that, that's why he wait till he get open. If he ain't open, he can't. He got to throw it somewhere else, dude. That's what I see. I see what D. Good used to call it as a elementary route. I just said, I already know what you're doing. So you don't have to tell me I got to practice this hard, but what you already training me to do, because this offense that we got right now is very predictable. So that goes to me and shows me that's coaching, baby.
Well, hold on. Here's another thing, though. We talked about this earlier. On the same way that you're talking about that, Worm, but even if you're running a play,
I'm about to go. I see where you're going.
It has to be executed.
Yeah, you're right.
That means you have to do your job.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. You got to win your one-on-one battle. Do your job. It goes back to the same thing we talked about. Football is a mono sport. That's man versus man, one-on-one. Who gonna win? I'm gonna beat you. You gonna beat me. We have to be able to do those things. Cause you know this yourself. You know this too, Big One. We played against, and I hate going back to this, but we went back. We played against Arkansas. We ran the same play 7 times in a row. Same play.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Riley, the center, came up to the line of scrimmage and said, we're running the ball to the right, and you can't stop us. He did it on every last play, and they couldn't stop us. They knew when the ball was coming. They couldn't stop us. It's called execution. I'm going to win this battle with you one-on-one. Plain and simple.
I'm going to give you the defensive version of that. Kentucky. We ran bear, Mike, shoot 40 times, or some version of that 40 times. And they knew you saw it. I don't care who was out there. I don't care if it was the first team, second team, third team defense. We ran the same defense, and they couldn't do anything to stop.
Yep. It's called execution. That's sometimes, bro, that's will and want to. I'm going to get the job done. I'm going to do my job, be a football player, and make some plays. I'm going to say something else. I know my mom going to be watching this later, so I can't go all out like I want to.
Go back to Warren's point again. You coached a certain way. You coach to do certain things, but a football player going to make certain adjustments along the way, because if my GPS is telling me to turn right, it keeps saying turn right, and I know ain't no street right there. It's wrong.
Ain't no street
I'm not going to turn right just because they to turn right. I see a different way to do it.
Hey, and you're right, man. And that's what I don't get, man. And that's what I've been seeing. Everybody keep asking those questions. I mean, you guys said it right now. I mean, it's almost like we got a lot of robots right now, man. They're not being football players like I think they could be. I don't know if they're afraid to bring that element that they did in high school. It was great players or whatever. And I don't know if the coaches have broke them down so much where they don't understand that they still need that element of themselves to be on the ball field. But something has to change as far as, what it's gonna take to motivate those kids to execute when they get out there. I mean,
because here's the thing. I know that we want to be this next year. We want to, in the future or later on in the season, or this is what we want our program to look like in a few years. This is the offense we're going to run. This is our defensive scheme we're going to run. So we're trying to get that ingrained into them right now. But here's the thing. If you start not seeing success, when in our era, it was different. We would probably still stick to it. And he's trying to change the whole culture. They gotta find little wins. When I say little wins, that might mean putting your 5 best players, your 5 defensive linebackers out there because they're your best 5 to go get somebody.
Yeah,
they gonna give you everything they got, every play type of thing. It might be lining up with a fullback and having 2 wide receivers. You're going down here, whatever it may be. You got to figure out what those are. I said this last week, JC. You need to find 5 to 7 plays on offense that you can run in your sleep. And the same thing on defense. You need to find 3 to 4 defenses that we call this. They're going to go all out and get something done. You got to that's the basics, bro. That's the basics. That's why I brought up earlier G87, because when we were out there and we couldn't get certain things done, coach would say, you know what? I got better athletes than you. We're going to line up in G87, and you're going to have to beat us mano-a-mano.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this here on that G87, dude. So I played left tackle. I used to hate G87 when I had to get the right arm. I had to get in that left-hand stands.
Hey, that left-hand stand, man, was something else. But I want to say this. I don't want to get cut before we lose this chance, because we're all so passionate. When I say we, I mean all of us, ex-players, fan base. And I'm going to put the fan base here and just talk about us for a minute. We're all passionate about this program and want it to be a certain way, even though you go through the years, whether you've had what kind of success you had. So I know we sound to other people, we sound critical at times, but we talking about family. We talking about our little brothers. We can talk about our family like that. We can do it. But we just have to, I want to make sure there are some guys, I said it, there's some guys on that team that are playing hard and some guys that are playing well. And I think that gets lost, and we need to build on what you find those people like you just mentioned, dude, and start building on what we do have and what we are doing well. Because there's some people on there that have some good tape. They're playing well. We just got
Yeah. Think about it. Now, keep in mind, the first week, I only saw one dog.
Yeah.
Last week.
More than that last week.
Yeah, last week we don't call out a few every other was just out there. You know what I'm saying? So unless you know, okay, there's some talent. We might need to put them all on the field together, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
now on the offensive side of the ball,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, our offensive line did a whole lot better run blocking because we had 100 yards. One cat with 100 yards rushing, and the other one was 77. And those two running backs showed up to me. They showed up.
Yeah, and what do you guys think, man? You know, with the rumors, I know the fans are PO'd and all this here, and of course, they all want to call for the coach head and fire the coach and do this here and that there. I mean, enough is enough, man. I mean, you gotta stick with a coach, man, and get a foundation. The foundation haven't been built yet. I know everybody is tired of hearing it. We gotta wait till he get his keys and this here and that there. What you think, man?
I'm going to answer this first, JC. I think the most frustrating part for most of our fan base, and one for me too, is that you saw progression every week last year. You saw a progression that made you beat an Auburn football team. It showed promise. You saw a progression that made you beat a ranked Kentucky team. Showed promise. So, and you've seen them play better than what they're playing right now, right? And then you don't lose much off that football team. You don't lose a whole lot. A lot of those guys pretty much came back. Now, you did change a few coaches on the opposite side of the ball, but the most frustrating part is that we saw them play harder toward the end of last season than what they're playing right now. And that's the hardest part to see. And it's almost like it went in reverse. Now, did we play better this week than we did the week before? We did. So there is a progression. We just need to progress a whole lot faster than what we are. And I don't know if it takes us playing against UT Chattanooga to finding those little things. And I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like at this point, even though it's UT Chattanooga, you should throw the kitchen sink out there, to be honest with you. And I say that from a standpoint of give these teams something to worry about just a little bit. I don't care if they see what you're running. I don't care if they see that blitz that you've been waiting on for week 4 or week 5 or whichever. You don't really have that option right now. You need to go out there and make some things happen. And on the offensive side of the ball, hey man, I'm using everything I got. Every weapon every bullet that's in the cannon should be shot.
And I'm gonna answer that question from Deuce hit all the technical football stuff with that. I'm gonna answer your question a different way. And this for the fans. I know everybody may not want to hear this, and probably not the politically correct thing to say. But I mean, if you're expecting consistency and exceptional effort and everything else from the coaches and the players, then as a fan, you got to be able to match that and do the same thing. And can y'all say that we've got that from like the stadium? Is the energy there? Is the fan base there? Consistency? And I don't want to hear like, okay, well, give us something to cheer about. It don't really work that way all the time. It's a give and take thing because we stepped on the field against Florida. I hate to refer back to that, but that's my reference point. We stepped on the field. We hadn't done anything. It's the first play of the game, and we fed off that energy the entire game. And sometimes you need that. I mean, yeah, I talked about how as a player you got to be self-motivated. You got to do whatever, but it comes a point in time of mid-season or you tired or whatever else. You depending on the crowd to help you with their energy. So are we getting that they're expecting from the player and coach, or they getting that from the fan base?
And you said something that makes a lot of sense, and we know this all too well. Now, when you lost the game, and then you lost 2 games you should lose, and you know everybody's down on you, it feels great to go on that football field and your crowd is behind you. That makes you feel a little bit better, bro. That makes you play with a different type of energy, makes you play with a little bit more effort, a little bit more heart. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a little bit more of a boost, man.
And I'm not gonna lie, you guys remember this. You coming after the first home game after the Memphis loss.
Oh gosh, you remember that? Like 2 fans out there clapping for us, like coming out
It's
there.
like they for adoption. It's like, done with y'all. And as a you have to be impacted and affected by that.
Now we did give them something to cheer about. But we had that energy from the start of the game.
Right.
Our fans and our crowd was when defense touched the field. If we were kicking off, it was already like that. And when the defense touched the field, bro, you couldn't hear yourself think because they were already loud. They already knew, hey, let's get it out here and make it loud for these boys. Here's the thing, Jeff. I went to the game. We got to the game at 4:00.
Yeah.
I pulled up in Knoxville at 4:30. I got from driving from Cedar Bluff to Neyland Stadium is probably what, Big One, with no traffic, about 15 minutes?
Yeah.
I got to the stadium in about 18 minutes.
So
listen, when I say to the stadium, I mean on campus, and I parked at Pratt Pavilion, 18 minutes. When we pulled up, we didn't see nobody even walking to the game. So when we got out of the car to go towards the game, we were the only people walking towards the stadium. And this is at 4:30. I've never seen that before in my life.
So if we're not going to have a problem, and it's fair game, if we're not going to have a problem calling out these kids and these coaches, we got to call them out too. Because now, like, we wanted them and we appreciated the fans and they gave us the extra boost, but this team needs them.
They need them.
They need them.
They need them, bro. They do. They need them.
That sort of way. They
need them. And I know I hear people say, well, we've been waiting for 10 years. We've been waiting for 12. Hey, man, if you're going to be a fan, be one. Let me tell you something. I am a Falcons fan. I'm a Hawks fan. I ain't never going to see a Super Bowl or an NBA championship ever. When I go to the stadium, I'm loud because that's my team. And we could be playing against LeBron James or whoever. No, we still going to lose. But that's my team. I'm going to rock with my team till the wheels fall off.
Oh, man.
I mean, and everybody don't have my passion. Everybody has passion. But everybody don't have my passion.
And when you do that, then you can say whatever you want about who. And you can say they can say what they want anyway. But you got the validity and criticizing if you're bringing your A fan game to the game every week, then you can criticize.
All right. That's what I'm talking about, fellas. That's what I'm talking about.
You better not take that out either. You better not take that. Don't take that out either.
No, that needs to be, bro. That was it. It kind of hurt, bro. Seriously, pulling up and getting all the way to, we were like, what is this? Like, this don't look good.
You can't move that. Like, you know how it is. You can't get from out west to the stadium in 15, 20 minutes. No.
Bro, I was at the stadium in 18 minutes.
Not on campus, at the stadium in 15 minutes.
In 15 minutes. And it was 4:30. The game was at 7. I've never seen that before in my life. I was like, we were all in the car thinking to ourselves, like, man, this don't look good. This is bad. Man, it's bad. It was bad, bro. And listen, when we pulled up, literally, we were calling to see what the other guys were. They said, we're getting ready to do the Vol walk. And still wasn't nobody around.
Oh, man.
I couldn't believe that. I could not believe it. Couldn't believe it.
I mean, I did, I told you, I don't know if you guys saw me when I posted something on Facebook about that, and I really wasn't calling them out, fans out like that,
I saw you when you did it, so I'm going to call them out for you.
It was, how I am. I'm a little reserved when I come up with stuff and,
I saw it, and I called about for you. And it's not, again, we're all family. You can talk about family like that, and if family's not doing right, you should be able to tell them they're not doing right. I'm not going to let my brother fuss at my sister if my brother is also not doing right. He's right too.
And it was just the fact that, I have very tough skin, people can say what they want to say about me or whatever I post or whatever, I grew up in Mississippi, and I'm telling you, I got thick skin, man. And then some of these people, when they was, commenting, and they were saying things, I don't want to say all of them, but when they were saying that, how dare you talk about the fans or just like this here, it was way past that, especially if they would have just read what I said.
No, they missed the point of what, and this is, I mean, you can just chalk that up to social media and people.
Yeah.
It's a different type of climate. Like, again, you can't state a point. There was nothing wrong with what you said. It needed to be said, and it actually needed to be taken a step or two further than that. And people, if they actually read what you said or listened to your follow-up to what you said, they would have understood that and not, gotten.
Nowadays, everybody jumps to conclusions, and they don't understand. Man, one of the things that made our time at Tennessee great was the fan base.
Yes.
And like you said, Jeff, when we won the big games, it was amazing. If we lost to somebody we weren't supposed to, which only happened once while we were in school, we'll take that back.
That was a fluke. That shouldn't have helped either, so.
But it was a little different feeling that next week. You know what I mean? When we lost that game. But ultimately, we don't really ever have to call out our fans. But our whole thing is, bro, listen to what we're saying first. And when I listened to, when I heard what you said and read what you wrote or whatever, I was like, I get it. I got it.
Yeah.
That means somebody read it and was not objective enough or thought that they were doing so much more. Guess what? There's another level to everything we do. Right. And at this moment, they need our fan base to be at another level because they need us, period.
They need the fan base.
Yeah, they need them. Bad.
For a lot of reasons, we need the fan base to show up just like they show up if we were 2-0 and give people the business like we normally give them. They need to go another step to pull these kids. That's like to say you help pull these kids up from where they are right now instead of sitting back and waiting until they get it right, then you come back and cheer. Now that's like Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska. They've been down for years too. They've been down for years. Mm-hmm. Their fan base never wavered. Yeah, I can name a couple.
They understand.
You saw 1-10 and 0-11 South Carolina. They left at halftime, but they were there. They showed up and they showed up. They got beat down. They showed up.
0-10, wow.
1-10.
I know. I couldn't even imagine them, man.
Yeah, 1-10, 0-11. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, hey, we gonna get out of here, man. We gonna chop it up soon, man. I mean, I think we could do this here every week, man. JCA, like I said, hey, you ain't seen nothing yet, man. We gonna have fun with this all.
Man, I'm putting in for hours though, man. I'm starting. I don't have no hours yet. I'm putting them in.
You're right.
I'm still, getting hazed or whatever, but
Hey, well, hey, like I said, man. Hey, thank you guys for watching us, man. Don't forget to like us here. Subscribe to YouTube and everything, man. Hey, Fred, Deuce.
Yes, sir, baby.
Hey, man, thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for doing this, man. You have a great platform, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
Appreciate you, man. And I'll be talking to you fellas soon, man. Y'all have a good night, man.
You too, bro.
All right, man.
Hey, man.